Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in to something that's a little bit different than I typically share here on the channel because it's fashion focused. There is kind of a makeup element to it, which we'll get to pretty shortly, but it's going to be a haul and try on of some pieces from Marsté Fashion. For those of you who might not know, and this is where the makeup element comes in, but Marsté Fashion was founded by fellow beauty YouTuber Marlena and Makeup Geek. She's also the founder and CEO of Makeup Geek, a brand I've talked about a lot here on the channel, so deeply rooted in makeup, but she recently launched her own fashion line. And when it comes to fashion, I would say I appreciate it, but I am no expert and I'm a lot less experimental with my fashion than certainly my makeup, where I will try pretty much anything and everything to see if it works, if I like it, if I think you should try it, etc. Not so much with fashion, so I've been wanting to experiment a little bit more with my personal style and my wardrobe. It's also hard to put my finger on what my personal style is, which I think is part of what makes playing with my wardrobe intimidating, because I'm kind of all over the board. I appreciate classic minimal silhouettes, clean lines, things like that, but I'm also a fan of embellishment and maybe trendier pieces. So I'm still working to figure that out, but what I knew when I first saw Marlena's collection was that it spoke to my deep love of classic pieces with versatility, and I think you'll see what I mean by that as I go through each of these pieces. I had been building my cart for a while, ever since she kind of announced it. I've been stalking the Instagram, building a cart, and then shortly before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, like the shopping holiday, the brand announced they had dropped their prices, and so that's kind of when I knew, like, if there's ever a time to give these a shot, now is the time, and I finally hit purchase on it all. So let's go ahead and go through everything I got. For reference, I am anywhere between a size 10 to 12, sometimes a 14, especially on the bottom. My bottom is bigger than my top. I think that's pretty common for a lot of us out there, but I think that makes me pear/slightly hourglass shape. I don't know, you'll see in the try on, let me know what you think. But as a result, it can kind of make it hard to find the right size for me, especially with a brand like Marsté that, unless you manage to find their pop-up, which I think might have only been in New York. I know they've had a physical store somewhere, but nowhere near me. And so it's not a brand I can easily try on and return or not buy if it's not the right size. So I thought this video would be helpful for that as well. So first, let's start with the essentials, since I'm actually wearing one in this video, and that's probably the thing I needed the most out of here. I can let myself go for forever with the rattiest looking, like, basic white tee, basic black tee. It will look pilled and the white tees will be like stained, you know, in the armpit, just in general. I don't know why I let myself get that way, but I do. So I actually did need these pieces. So first, let's start with the t-shirts. This is also one of the things that drew me to this brand, is because I think she said it, Marlena said it in a video that she made about these products, but the fabric specifically of the t-shirts were such that they were super soft, super comfortable, but they were thick and opaque enough to where you couldn't see bra straps, which for a black shirt, not a big deal. However, for a white shirt, I generally can struggle with that. If it's not a thick enough material, you can see the bra lines and or the bra shade. Even if it's like I'm wearing a flesh tone bra today, some white shirts I have, you can even see the bra tone through that. So I was under the impression that that would not be the case with at least the lighter colors within the top collection. I can't really say that's the case. So I have both these V-neck shirts, this one in black, and then the one I just held up in white. And it is undeniably soft and comfortable. However, it's definitely a little bit sheer, and I think you'll be able to see it best when in the try-on process. I'm wearing it over like a darker bottom and with a nude bra, and I feel like you can still see the bra shade. And then you can also see like a tonal difference between the darker bottoms that I have on and the tone of my skin. So it's not totally opaque, but it is loose enough fitting to where I feel like I can situate it to where I'm not going to feel uncomfortable in it. And especially for a shirt like this. Oh, speaking of, so these are V-neck t-shirts, but what I like about how they show them worn on the site and on their social, specifically their Instagram, is that the V-neck is wide enough to where you can either pull it down so it's a deeper V, or you can situate it so it's a little bit higher up, and so it's a wider, not a boat neck obviously, but just like a wider V-neck, or you can totally wear it off the shoulder like this. It's without stretching the V-neck out and like warping it so that next time you wear it, it's totally out of shape. It's a very flexible sort of silhouette, and that I really appreciate. Next, I also got two of the tank tops, again, one in black and one in white, because they're just the most versatile pieces in my collection. They can go with and under anything, specifically in these shades. So I did that. They're size 8-10, the tank tops and the shirts, by the way, because I don't think I mentioned that with the shirts, but same kind of thing with the fabric of the tank tops. In fact, I think it's the same material as the shirt, so it is very soft and comfortable. But when it comes to the white tank top, you can definitely see a little bit of detail through the fabric itself. And one thing I do really like about the tank tops though is that they have this mesh barrier up here, so you can see it's like this t-shirt fabric, and then there's this really nice and dainty looking but still stretchy and flexible mesh boundary. I think that's nice, adds a little bit of interest. It also lets you wear maybe a little bit of a deeper V-neck but feel less exposed because you have that kind of modesty barrier. I don't, it's not really modesty, like it still goes pretty low, but it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I don't know. And still adds that little piece of interest to what would otherwise be just a very plain tank top. So I really like that. But something else I noticed about these, I'm gonna try and hold these in the same spot because I think the sizing is a little bit inconsistent with these pieces. So here I am holding them at the armpit area, holding them at the same height, and you can see that this white extends a good amount beyond the black. So it's a little bit wider and even a little bit longer down here at the bottom. I do that because when I first tried them on, the black felt good, but then I put the white on after it and it felt quite a bit bigger. So you can actually see the size differences. For whatever reason, the white is just a teensy bit wider and longer on the bottom. So if you find yourself in between sizes, maybe err on the smaller size for the white color, just to be sure it lays the way you want. And then the last top that I got is it's not what I would call safe for me. It's not something that it's a basic that I would see myself wearing all the time, but I just wanted something a little bit different and interesting. And this spoke to me in the collection. It is a jersey top. So, I mean, you can probably tell here it is sheer. It has like those little like eyelet holes throughout. So it's slightly sheer. They had it in black, but you'll soon see I have a lot of black that I purchased. So I went with the blush color just for a little something different. And I really liked it because it's lightweight. It's something sheer. It's long enough. It's like a longer tunic level, but it's slit up the side a little bit. So if you find that you like a longer top, but you have issues with longer tops fitting over your hips and butt, it has that slit so it can flex easily over that. And yet the material, it feels a lot like the shirts. And so the material is stretchy enough to where you can actually pull it up, and they style it like this, where you can pull it up and knot it around your waist, just something a little bit different. And then the same with the V neckline. It has that same V neck to where you can either wear it wide or low as a V or off the shoulder as well. So it just seemed like you could wear it a lot of different ways. Now let's talk about the bottoms that I got. First up is a pencil skirt, and she actually has two pencil skirts up on her site. One has snaps down the back, which I really like because it allows you to change up the height of the actual skirt, but I actually already have a very similar skirt, so I went with just the plain pencil skirt, and it goes all the way down to the mid calf length, which I think is very flattering for my body type. And so this was something I was super excited about, and I'm even more excited when I actually got it and could try it on to find it not only goes to my mid calf, but it also comes all the way up to like well above my belly button. And again, I find, you know, my waist is more narrow, and so if and when I choose to accentuate something, it tends to be that, just because I think it's personally more flattering. So love that it came all the way up there. It's super easy to tuck things into it, and it's made of like this kind of thicker, almost sweatshirt feeling fabric. It's not too thick, but certainly, especially now that it's winter outside, I thought, you know, when's the next time I'll be able to wear a pencil skirt? But it's a warmer kind of fabric. So I definitely think, especially with some tights, I'll be able to get some good out of this even in the winter because it's a warmer fabric, and it's also a thick enough fabric to where it's going to be a little bit more forgiving to panty lines. I don't mind wearing a thong, but if I don't have to, I'm totally fine not. So because of that thicker fabric, because it's meant to be sort of a bodycon cling to your body sort of situation, sometimes you can run into that, like just being able to see every little detail on your legs. And so this, I think, is a little bit more forgiving for that. And for reference, I went for the size 8-10 because it's supposed to be that more hugging bodycon style. I figured I would size down in it. However, for this next set of pants, I sized up because it seemed like they were supposed to fit a little little bit more loose and let the actual structure of the style do most of the shape work. So these are them. These were another risk for me because they are pleated in the front, and I don't know if it's just me being a 90s baby and just pleats were something that older people wore, but the more that the older I get and as styles change, I am becoming more drawn to that kind of structure, and so I thought I would give these a shot. Also, they looked incredibly comfortable, and I can confirm that is in fact the case. They are made out of this suede-esque feeling but still very, very stretchy fabric, and I got this kind of camel looking color to go with another camel colored product that I love the idea of monochromatic, so that's kind of why I chose this. It's also just I would have obviously gone with black, but trying to change it up, so I went with this. And again, it has the pleats in front. Secret about this product, the pockets here on the side, nice and big, they also go all the way through. So like, look, you could put your hand like all the way through there so you can hide your secrets in your pockets. They're nice and high-waisted, which again, I like because it emphasizes my more narrow waist. It's easy to tuck things into them. And they also are cinched, not cinched, but have elastic down here at the ankle. They're slightly cropped cut, so they don't fall all the way down at the ankle, but this is nice because it kind of keeps them in place wherever they land so they don't ride up and or fall down below your ankle depending on where they hit you. And can I just tell you again how stinking comfy they are? I mean, I would live in these if I could. So now it probably makes sense to talk about the piece that I got to go with that in terms of color matching. This is a duster length jacket that she has on the site. And I just thought the silhouette looked so clean, and yet there are details about it that just make it feel a little special and even a little bit more versatile. So to start, on the arms, it has this button detail. So you can fully button it. It's nice and long, so even if it's fully snapped, it reaches over the knuckles. But if you want maybe a more flared arm silhouette, then you just unsnap it either a little or all the way, and it just gives you a little bit more of a different look, different style. Additionally, there is a zipper that goes all the way down the back. I personally love a good exposed zipper. It's gold, so it really flatters this color of material, and the zipper starts at the bottom, so you can either wear it fully zipped, or you can totally alter the length if you want to take it up to waist length or mid waist length, whatever. It just gives you a little bit of a different flare at the bottom depending on what else you're wearing with it. These are still very much first impressions, but in the short while that I've worn this, I'm still torn on whether I would have liked something to fasten it or cinch it in around the waist. As it stands now, there is nothing to hold it together if you wanted to kind of close it. I like the way it lays when it's not open, but I just like the option to close it or cinch it. So you could always put like a thick belt or even a thin belt over it if you wanted to just kind of cinch it in around there. But jury's still, I don't know. I can't tell if I would have liked a cinching sort of option there. The only other thing I want to say about this, besides the fact that I am a medium, or that's the size that I got and I think it fits my body really nicely, the fabric is really incredible. Like, it's nice and thick. Once again, I can see myself wearing it in winter. It's not gonna be so heavy in the summer. It's just a nice, good in-between, but really substantial feeling fabric to where it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall apart tomorrow if I wear it the wrong way or wear it for too long. It feels like a piece that I'm gonna have for a really long time. The same could be said for this other piece that I've been wearing nonstop because it is so stinking comfortable. It is the hoodie that she has. And when I first saw it, I was like, I mean, how different could a hoodie be? But the more I looked at it, and especially now the more I have it and wear it around, the more interesting a hoodie it is. So I actually got the green, it's like an olivey green hoodie. That's not the actual shade of it. I'll put all the exact information down in the description box. But I did get the green version, and my size, again, was a medium, which I feel is the perfect size for me. And what's interesting about this hoodie is the sleeves are extra long and they are cinched down at about the bottom quarter, I would say. So extra long, they give you a good amount of room in the arm area here if you find that like your shirts or blouses or whatever tend to fit more tight up in your upper arm area. Lots of nice good room there. And then the zipper actually only comes up at, well, First of all, nice big pockets, but then the zipper comes up about halfway before it starts to snap up top. And I find that difference in like structure in this hoodie just makes it so much more interesting than your average hoodie. Like you can fasten it a little bit lower. So once again, you can kind of drape it off one shoulder or wear it nice and broad across your neck. If that's your preferred aesthetic or just the way you like to wear your stuff, it just makes it feel like it's a little bit less of a slouchy hoodie, which I am not against. It just, you know, it changes it up from your average hoodie. Oh, and before I move on, I do want to say about all of the hardware that I've experienced is it feels really nice and solid. The snaps here and the snaps on the sleeve of that duster that I just talked about, they're like really heavy duty feeling snaps. Where is the snap here? Heavy duty feeling snaps and also nicely finished. Like they have the Marsté logo here. They don't move around, like they're not loose within the fabric. I don't know, maybe I just buy a lot of cheap stuff, but so often when I have things like buttons or snaps in fabric, it feels like they are the first things to come loose, because if you actually are actively buttoning and or zipping or snapping your shirts, that's what gets the most wear and tear. And these I have snapped, unsnapped, but albeit for a shorter amount of time than like long-term wear, but they feel not flimsy at all. And last up, the last piece that I have to talk about is a bodycon maxi dress. And this is another one of those pieces that I have some similar to already, but I can never get enough of this style because I just find them infinitely versatile. You can dress them down with some like tennis shoes or some casual walking shoes or whatever, and even this hoodie, or you can dress it up with heels or a nice blazer and some like funky jewelry. It's just such a nice, elegant looking silhouette to either wear alone or amp it up with some additional bells and whistles. I love it. And I like this one in particular because it has this ruching around the stomach that makes it a little bit more flattering and a little bit more forgiving if you struggle with the way things lay around it. I just find that ruching, or the texture, it's not really ruching, I guess. It's just like texture that they have added and sewn in here. It adds a little bit of interest, but still keeps things very flattering looking. It has a scoop neck in front and a V in the back. I don't know if maybe you could remove this tag and then wear it as a reversible product. I don't see why not, because this gathering, this ruching that happens at the waist happens all the way around. So it's not like it would look weird if you mixed it up. I'm just not sure about how well this tag would remove. But if so, you would basically have, you know, a dress with two different necklines, which is very nice. The only thing about this fabric, it's very comfortable, very stretchy, but it does get a little thin up at the chest area. So to the extent, my size is an 8'10", which is pretty good for my chest area, but fits nice and snug around my butt and thighs like I like. But I noticed that as it was getting kind of farther up on my chest and the fabric started to stretch, it became a little bit more sheer. So this might be one of those items where if you have a larger chest, you size up in if something you struggle with is getting things that stretch too much around the chest and end up being sheer or just not laying right like you like them to. This might be one of those items that you size up in, just because I think if it had fit any more snug, I would have wanted to size up for how sheer it looked on me. So those are all of my Marsté fashion items. I hope you enjoyed, you know, getting to see them. If you're interested in any of them, like maybe my sizing as a reference was helpful for you as well. I also just hope you enjoyed a fashion video from this channel in general. Not that it'll replace beauty anytime soon, but it was just kind of fun to change it up. It's something I enjoy doing. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and if you'd like to see a capsule wardrobe using some of these pieces. Part, again, what drew me to this whole line was how it seemed like everything was made to go together in every which way. And in part, that's how they style it. I mean, they put the hoodie tied around the waist of the maxi dress, and things that I just never would have thought to style, but in reality, the color palette and the silhouettes of everything are like made perfectly to go together in pretty much any way you want to wear them. So I thought it might be fun to do a capsule wardrobe video with all these pieces, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. Besides that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.